Learn English through stories.
There was a student named John who was studying in college. He was a brilliant student who always did well in his classes. However, one day, he met a girl named Sarah and fell in love with her. Sarah was beautiful and kind, and John was smitten by her. He spent most of his time with her and started neglecting his studies. He missed classes and assignments, and his grades started to slip. One day, John's professor called him into his office and told him that he was failing his classes. He was shocked and didn't know what to do. He knew that he had to talk to Sarah about his situation. He met Sarah in the college cafeteria and told her about his problems. He said, "Sarah, I think we need to take a break. I love you, but I can't let my studies suffer because of our relationship." Sarah looked at him with tears in her eyes and said, "John, I understand that you are struggling, but we can work through this together. I love you, and I don't want to lose you." John looked at her and said, "I love you too, Sarah. But I can't keep neglecting my studies. I need to focus on my education if I want to have a good future." Sarah took his hand and said, "John, I will always support you. You are a brilliant student, and I know that you can succeed. I will be here for you, no matter what." John felt relieved and grateful for Sarah's support. He knew that he had made the right decision to talk to her, and he felt more confident about his future. From that day on, John focused on his studies and spent less time with Sarah. He worked hard and tried to catch up on the lessons he had missed. Sarah supported him by sending him encouraging messages and reminding him of his goals. As a result, John's grades started to improve, and he regained his position as a top performer in his class. His professors were proud of him, and they praised him for his hard work. One day, John went to meet Sarah, and he told her about his improved grades. Sarah was thrilled and gave him a big hug. She said, "I am so proud of you, John. You have worked so hard, and you deserve this success." John smiled and said, "I couldn't have done it without your support, Sarah. You have been my rock, and I am so grateful for your love and encouragement." Sarah hugged him again and said, "I will always be here for you, John. You can achieve anything you want, and I will always be your biggest fan." John realized that he had made the right decision by prioritizing his studies, and he knew that he had a bright future ahead of him. He was grateful for Sarah's love and support, and he knew that their love would survive any obstacle. In the end, John graduated from college with flying colors, and Sarah was right there beside him, cheering him on. They got married a few years later and started a beautiful life together. John never forgot how Sarah had supported him during his difficult time, and he knew that he had found the love of his life. He always remembered the lesson he learned during that time, that love is important, but education is equally important. It's all about finding the right balance and knowing what's most important in life. Listen and practice. Repeat after me. He was a brilliant student who always did well in his classes. He was a brilliant student who always did well in his classes. He met a girl named Sarah and fell in love with her. He met a girl named Sarah and fell in love with her. He spent most of his time with her and started neglecting his studies. He spent most of his time with her and started neglecting his studies. He was shocked and didn't know what to do. He was shocked and didn't know what to do. I think we need to take a break. I think we need to take a break. I understand that you are struggling, but we can work through this together. I understand that you are struggling, but we can work through this together. I love you, and I don't want to lose you. I love you, and I don't want to lose you. I will be here for you, no matter what. I will be here for you, no matter what. I couldn't have done it without your support. I couldn't have done it without your support. You have been my rock. You have been my rock.